today, behind us, we're doing what we call aeration. What we're doing is breaking up the compaction of the soil, and if there's any burnt or dry soil, which we didn't necessarily see on top of the ground, but we want to break it up so the water can penetrate down into the ground. After we break up the soil like this, then we're going to be putting on the tree what we call a compost tea with microorganisms in it. We're going to be putting on some what they call biochar. It's a type of material that helps the tree absorb, but it also absorbs foreign materials and things like that. But also we'll be putting on some humic acid, and then we're going to be monitoring the soil moisture. So we'll have someone checking the moisture every few days, and then we'll be documenting that. So we'll be checking, trying to keep the moisture in the ground as best we can, but not overwatering. So that's the plan at the present time. As I say, before the other day I came out last Saturday, we checked underneath the bark of all the lower trunks on the tree, and we found that there's still live tissue. We didn't see any major charring or scarring of the tree like on a lot of other trees we looked at. But we did not find what we call a good sap flow. We found sap underneath it, but this particular species of tree usually oozes out sap a lot. So since it's not oozing out sap, it's kind of like going into, I've been using the word coma. It's kind of going into a holding stage. So that's what I feel the tree is doing right now. And what we're doing is just like someone in a coma, they give them an intravenous shot, and then they keep their vitals going, but they don't know what to do after that. Same way with the tree, we're giving it the intravenous shot with the aeration and the treatments that we're doing right now. And then when someone's in a coma, we don't know how long it's going to be, a week, a month, a year, whatever it is. As long as their vitals are still going, we keep them going on it. So then when they blink or move a finger, then we know we're going to do something. And on the tree, as soon as we see a new bud pop or something like that, then we know that the tree's responding to our treatments, or we may have to change our treatments. So the tree is going to tell us what to do. And right now we're looking at the positive, that it's going to tell us that it's just need some time to regroup and start up again. And hopefully, I mean, that's our plan. And we're looking, definitely whatever I've seen, up in the top of the tree. Again, definitely the leaves are all dry and dead, but they're not charred off or burnt off. So that indicates that, that the fire wasn't as hot up there. The little tips of the branches, and those are dead. We're leaving those on the tree, even though they're dead, because what they do is they act as a shade cover for the branches below. It's similar to if you work in an office and you go out on the weekend to the beach and you don't put on any sunscreen, you get burnt and scarred. So the same thing happens to a tree where it's used to having this leaf cover. So what we're going to do is keep that on as long as we can, since we're coming in the next couple months of hot weather. I'm working, it's not just me, I'm just part of the team. I'm just one person of this team. So we've got people all through the islands working with me. I've got people from California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, and other places that we put out to get comments. We've given them our report, our recommendations, and basically all the things that we've recommended, they concur with our treatment plan. So it's a group effort of all arborists coming together and working on the trees. So personally, the team we have, and I'm confident that we got the team and all the resources with Goodfellow Watering and Prometheus helping us with everything else, and we have other people coming in to help when we need them. So with that group, I think we're okay. Mine is, again, this is an incredibly important tree, historically, everything else-wise, but it's a tree. It's a tree. We've got so many people that have lost their lives, lost their families, lost their livelihoods, and lost everything else here, that I'm just saying is that that's where the focus should be, and we take care of that. The tree, we got a little group here together, and we're going to work on the tree, and that's our job, and that's what we're going to do. And I want to see everybody focusing on the rest myself, and I don't want to be, you know, like everybody talking about. I want everybody to talk about tree, but I don't want this tree as being the focal point of everything. And for me, there's greater disasters out there than this tree, and we got a team to do it. It's approximately 150 years old. There's actually a plaque there saying 150. It just had a 150-year birthday. We counted. There's approximately 35 or 36 aerial roots. So it has a combination of all the aerial roots plus the parent trunk, which of course you can see in the center, and then right here in the center, and then all these aerial roots. So they're almost like separate. They're almost like separate trees almost. So we know that something's gonna. We gotta have something that's going to be alive here. But as I say, right now, there's still life under every one of these roots and in the main trunk. So that's where our hope is at, and then the rest is up to the tree. And with the governor and with the mayor and with everybody to coordinate this thing to get us here right away. Because people have been calling me like, well, hell, they didn't even let me in.
Yeah.